Right. So first of all, so I'm just creating the ADSL dataset. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'll just sort it into how many variables are there in this. Okay. So each and every variable, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put into a macro variable first. What are the variables are there? So first, open the SAS environment. Use the percentage let. Okay. Then use the keywords is equals to. Then you declare all the variables. Okay. Complete variables you need to declare. So what are the variables you are going to declare? Just try to mention all the variables like study ID, use subject ID. Okay. Study ID, use subject ID. Same approach you can follow. So use subject ID, subject ID, site ID, subject ID, site ID. Okay. The next one, country investigator name. Concern date. Check if I'm writing, if there is any mistake, is that try to identify. ENR.
Randy, you can copy and paste that column in your
Yeah, that's true, but the thing is, it's an image.
Oh, this is image. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, right. So that's the reason it's called.
Oh yeah, I can see image.
ENRL. SAFFL. SAFEXC. Okay. So this all the variables are just kept in a macro variable totally. So I'm going to use a semicolon. So that's it. So first we are creating one macro variable and putting all the variables. The next one, so what we are trying to do now. So this is our spec. So in this spec, if you just observe carefully, and one more thing, this spec is completely different. Maximum any kind of projects you take, any therapeutic studies you take, if we able to handle this kind of spec, In any maximum therapeutic study, 80 to 90% you can clear it very easily. But it's not so easy, very depth. And like apart from this, we need to have an appropriate data. Up to my maximum level of my knowledge, I just sorted out the data and I'm just explaining to you. And maybe this kind of complications you are going to get it maximum. Maybe like previously I just sent it some ADSL practical example based I sent it, ADAE also sent it, but maybe that may not 100% guarantee where you can get it in the real time point of mode. Suppose if you are just handling near about some 6 years or 5 years or 8 years of experience to point of mode. So like this kind of coding techniques you are going to write. So what I'm writing now. So previously which I've been sent it to you, it's like only it's not depth like only like to get an assignment oriented point of mode that will be helpful to you. But in the real time strategy, 100% you need to write on the code in this particular pattern. So that is the reason. So what I mean to say in a single word, that every variable is different and every logic is different, and this kind of logics will be applied for every study. It will be same only maximum 70 to 80% the combination will be same in ADSL creation. So maybe 20%, maybe sometimes some analysis variables will be different where you need to write on the code logic separately. But a 70 to 80% it will be same for maximum studies. Okay. Now let's take a look over here. So now, first of all, what is our main concern exactly? So we need, as usually, we need to know exactly study ID, use subject ID, site ID, country, investigator name. That's it. So up to INV name, so all the particular variables has to be taken from the DM domain only, and it's like a direct mapping, nothing else to do. So what I need to do now, so first of all, in order to take these particular variables directly, first of all, we need to sort the data. Any variables whichever you seen in the kind of a spec, compulsory you need to sort the data. First we have seen the DM, so let's sort the data with the DM dataset. So we know exactly, right? So there are two steps are there already in the while creating the DM domain. Also I've been explained to you. You can put it in the macro of the proc sort and immediately you can just go on applying, or else individual sorting you can do it. But the best one is that apply the macro. Previously I said to you, but here I'm just applying an individual point of mode. So just apply proc sort. Okay. So for that reason, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my proc sort exactly. So this combination is very important to remember. Proc sort data is equals to, so what is the dataset name? This is SDM underscore K. SDM underscore K. So dot DM, then out is equals to some dataset name. Here I'm going to mention as a DM only. So I'm going to use some new SDK ID. Please put your microphone in the mute from your side. Okay, right. So you can just use the proc sort. So if you just go to the DM domain, so we have a couple of data completely and a couple of variables exactly. So what we're trying to do now, we are just sorting the data according to the use subject ID. Let's check whether the use subject ID is available or not. Use subject ID is there and subject ID is there. Let's see these variables. Study ID, use subject ID, subject ID. Yes, study ID is there, use subject ID is there, subject ID is there, and site ID, country, investigator name. So site ID also will be there. If you just scroll the bar, so site ID is there, and again if you just scroll the bar, okay, country also will be there, and some INV name also somewhere else you're going to have it. Okay. If it is not there, you just leave it, put it in the bracket, but it should be there compulsory. Or else you can just take it as a site ID. Okay. So what I'm trying to do now, I'm going to sort the data first. So sort the data. So sort the data and check your log window. And okay, So near about some 306 observations are there from the DM domain, and there are total 25 variables are there. So now, so finally we got the DM dataset sorting procedure. But remember one thing, the most of the people will do the blunder mistake over here when writing the program. There are few techniques are there when you are writing the program. Condition based, you need to give some indenting. So like you need to give some space it out, like you need to give some space over here. So like you can just give a tab space. So that's it. So this will be give you a right idea, because every time whenever you write a kind of a program, so the main statement has to be in the beginning, and if there is any sub statements are there, or if there is any sub queries are there, or if there is any multiple conditions are there, you need to move the indenting characters to the somewhat spaces exactly you need to give it. Okay. Then coming to the next one. Now what I'm going to, once I sorted the data, then so then for that reason what I'm going to now I'm going to use some data set name is DM1. I'm going to use it. Done. So then I'm going to use my set. I'm going to use the DM, so that all the DM data set will be get carry forward to the DM domain as a copycat. Then after that what I'm going to do, so the next one is that we need to define the variables completely. So these are all the variables which you can take in from the DM domain itself only. So let's see the remaining process. Because this is a keep, already we selected these variables in the keep var. We already put the variable study ID, use subject ID, subject ID, site ID, country, all the variables we already kept in the macro variable. It's like direct mapping only. So obviously at the ending of the mode, these variables will be get retrieved. So the main variables we need to see from here. Okay. First of all, the variable is at SAER. So it's a combination of all the few variables like sex, age, ethnicity, and the race. So it should be 200 characters as per the mention of the length. So for that reason, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the concept in this way. So what should I do? So I'm going to use so first of all, SAER. SAER is equals to, I'm going to use the catex of singlet comma, and I'm going to use the comma. Then after that, what is the first variable? Sex, comma, age, comma, ethnic, comma, then I'm going to use the race. So now these variables will be concatenated and finally will be stored into the SAER. And make sure that compulsory we need to provide the length also, which is very, very important. Then I'm going to use the length over here. So length SAER, it should be what it should be. It should be 200 characters, right? So then you mention the 200 characters. That's it.
So by age variable you have to convert to the character variable.
Which one?
Age needed to convert to the character variable.
It's not required. At this moment, it's not required.
Otherwise, that's going to throw the error that a numeric variable converted to a character variable.
Okay, let's see. Fine. We will try it out. Whether it's correct or not, we'll try it out. So select the program and then run the program and check the log window. Ethnic is uninitialized. Maybe some spelling mistake is there. Right click. Ethnic. ETHNIC, I think so. ETHNIC. So select the program and then run the program. And so 26 variables, one more variable which has been created. So then you need to go to the DM domain, go to the work library. So double click on it and open this data set and just scroll the bar. So make sure that all the variables has been assigned over here with the length. So we got the F, we got the 63, we got the Hispanic, and all the data which has been come across over here.
Why there's an age? Would you please check the age? That's in a numeric format.
I'm not understanding what you're saying, Praful.
Would you please check the age variable in this data set? I wanted to see how that's.
Okay.
Yeah, that's already open. That's data set is already open.
Okay, so you are saying from here itself, right? This was.
Yeah.
No, we can look at the
That's a numeric.
It will be concatenated.
Yeah, but that's interesting, you know.
Okay, fine.
See,
Right.
Praful is right. For the cat function, it's only for character variables, right? How do you use the numeric variable in the cat function?
Numeric variable can be get assigned. It will be taken as a default. But for if it is any, suppose if it is any numeric variable is a character point of mode, it will not take. But in the character variable, and numeric can be get allowed.
Oh, okay, 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 okay.
Okay, right. So let's see the next one now. Now look at the next one now. The main important. So just think about the logic now carefully. Every logics are very, very important. The next logic is that consent date. Now here there are two different cases are there. Most of the people are going to observe over here. Consent date is there. It's like a date of informed consent. So maximum people knows exactly informed consent. Okay. So now here there is a two categories are there. Consent date is there. Consent date. So generally, if I just speak about the consent date, so there are two combinations are there. One is that DS, another one is that RFIC DTC. See, watch carefully. There are two categories are there. One is DS, another one is a DM domain. So this consent data, you can go to the DM domain, you can take the RFIC DTC only instead of taking the DS domain. So now this is somewhat the old strategy. So that is the reason they are taking the DS domain. But nowadays, maximum they are trying to target focus on RFIC DTC only. You understood, right, everybody? So like if the consent date is there, so why they are asking to go through with the DS domain means in the DS domain, compulsory from the beginning to ending, every information will be get recorded. From the subject informed consent form to till the subject completion of study, every record you will find in the DS domain. But in the RFIC DTC, only the informed consent date subjects only you are going to find out. So, but previously what they supposed to do, so subjects, so like subjects, some subjects will be enrolled, some subjects will be screen failure, will be there, right? So that is the reason instead of taking that, so directly they used to supposed to take the DS domain. But nowadays, you need to take the RFIC DTC, remember. Okay, now. So now as per the mentioned point of mode, so I'm going to take the DS. So the same thing, you need to take the RFIC DTC in the real time, like if you are working with the new version point of mode, you need to supposed to take RFIC DTC. Okay, concept is same now. Look at this. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I will take the DS domain. So what they're saying exactly, consented data of informed consent, DS.DS DTC, where DS category is called to protocol milestone and a DS decode is called to informed consent update. So that means only the subjects who have been taken the informed consent form, only those subjects only should be taken into the consideration. So for that reason, what I'm going to do, I will open this SAS environment. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to sort the data. Proc sort data is equals to SDTM underscore K dot DS. Then out is equals to, then I'm going to use the DS. Then after that, immediately I'm going to use my Y. Then after that, I'm going to use the CU subject ID. Then after that, I'm going to use a run now. So this is a combination. Okay. So now I'm going to run the program now. So once you just run the program, automatically the DS dataset will get created. So we got the data in this way. Okay. And all the subject level information will be there from the beginning to ending of the particular subject. Every information will be get recorded over here from the screening to till the completion of the study. Every information will be recorded in the DS domain. Now, so now what I'm going to do now here now. So here in the DS decode, completed is there, final lab visit is there, adverse event is there. So in this way, this data is somewhat different. Okay, DS actually if it is there, the category is there, we can select it very easily. DS.DS DTC, where DS category, in the DS category we need to have the protocol milestone. Look at this. In the DS category we need to have the protocol milestone, but here disposition event is there. Other events are there, but protocol milestone is not there. Okay, and what they're saying exactly, in the DS DTC where DS category is called protocol milestone and DS decode informed consent form obtained, we need to take this category, we need to take. So instead of taking this one, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the RFIC DTC directly. So let's see now, you will understand once I execute the program, you will understand. Okay, now, so for that reason, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the condition. If RFIC DTC not equals to null, so what I'm going to do, then I'm going to use a do. Okay, then here I'm going to use some concern. What is the name? CONSDTC. So concern date is equals to, I'm going to use the input of, so which variable I should take? RFIC DTC, comma IS8601 DA dot, we need to mention. So in this way, where I need to mention there is a concern date is there, another one also is there, this concern date also is there. So at a time I'm going to apply CONSDT. SDT is equals to, then again what is the logic concern date? Date part only they are asking. So for that reason, what I'm going to use input of RFIC DTC, comma. So again I'm going to use IS8601. So this one DT dot, not DA dot, because they are asking only the date, right? So this is the condition where we need to apply it, then give the semicolon, then after that I'm going to use the end. That's it. So this is a way where we are going to apply the program completely. So now the point is that if you just go to the DM domain.
But we don't have to like a date part instead of date and time.
But here that's true. But here, as per this scenario, what they specified. So actually, we can, like, they did not specify anything. They specified that date part, concern date, convert to numeric date. That's it. So that's the reason I just apply directly as a ISO format. If you want, you can just use that technique also, date type format. Because they're asking the date and time, like they're asking the.
They are asking for a date part, not a time.
But DT stands for time only, right? T means stands for time only.
In a derivation, there's a date part. That's why I'm asking.
Date part in the sense what they're saying exactly in the date part, date and time both are there. So they're expecting only the time only, actually. That is also comes under date part only, right? Suppose if we have 2006.
No, I got it what you mean, but
yeah.
Then there should be like an, instead of if you're looking for a time, then there should be a time part.
But actually that's true. But the thing is, like, what is their concern exactly? We need to take the date only, actually, because it's a concerned date, right? We cannot say it's a concerned day. We cannot say it's a concerned day is different. So as per the DT, we are taking the DT dot. If it is not there, then here we can just take the DTC. As per my logic, I'm saying, but DT as the mention as the time only we need to suppose to take.
So Praveen, for the time it comes as DTM, Praveen. If there is no M, that means it's only date. DT is for date, right?
In the ISO 8601, DTM format is there, DT format is there.
DA format and DT.
Okay, you just extracted the date part. So what you will write? You tell me. So as per your concern, you extracted the date part. Okay. So now you tell me now what you need to suppose to write. You will write the DA dot, or we will write the DT dot. Because time part is not there. Okay, I agree. Time part is not there, but the date part is there. But then what is our main variable is the concern date, right? So like concern DT is there. DT means date time. So that's the reason we can take the time exactly. So here I just taken the time. So it's up to you, because like as per my logic, I just specified RFIC DTC. One is for the date, another is for the time I just specified. If you want, you can change your formats according to the requirement. You can just apply it. But as per my logic, I just applied, because here maybe some mistake is that time part they need to provide. But the date part means in the date part, the date and the time both are there actually. So I have taken the, as per this variable I taken, not by using this spec. I taken by using this variable. If you want, you can just use that date and time also, like, or else we need to change this one. In the spec, we need to change the date part to time part, we need to change it. Fine. Okay. So in this way, where we can define the program completely, consent date and the consent date. So consent time. So we can just define the program exactly. So if this is not there, if you are not able to define this one, then you can define directly. You can go to the DS and make sure that the category should be protocol milestone, and the DS record should be informed consent. So only that records to be get filtered, and finally it has to be stored in the consent SD DTC. So but instead of taking this one, you are taking RFIC DTC. You are taking that. So this is a coding logic where we apply. So the next one, we can just go with another variable with the name called some enrollment flag. ENR LFL, enrollment flag. So subjects who have enrolled. So that means in the enrollment flag.
Praveen, we missed the consent day. Okay.
Consent date I did not miss it. Consent day, because here we need to use the TRT STTT. We need to create this variable exactly.
Okay.
At the bottom, we'll come across.
Yeah.
We'll define it, okay? Because we know we have only the consent day, and like DT and the TRT STTT is not there. So at the bottom, we will see. And when you're trying to detect this one, if any mistake is there, then we'll change it to date part as per the proper set.
Yeah.
But let's we apply this code and we execute it. If there's any error is there, we'll come back and again we'll change this one to date part and etc. Then we'll run the program. Okay. So the next one is that enrollment flag, ENR LFL. So what is enrollment flag? What is enrollment flag? Suppose, for example, if there is any 10 subjects are there. Let's take an example. So in the 10 subjects, 10 subjects will be there. In the 10 subjects, 8 subjects are enrolled. 2 subjects has got the screen failure. Screen failure, they got it. So 8 subjects will have Y, and 2 screen failures will have the no. That means only the subjects who are enrolled. So for them only the Y category will be coming. So that's what we call as an enrolled. Only the enrolled subjects only should be taken. So not the screen failure subject should not be included into that. So that's the main concept of enrollment flag. So what do you mean that exactly? So we need to define the enrollment flag. So for that, what I need to do? So go to the SAS environment now. So open the spec and observe this logic carefully. If ds.useSubjectID not equals to null, what do you mean by that null? In the DS, we know exactly in the DS domain, any subject which was recorded in the DS domain, absolutely they have been enrolled. Because the enrolled subjects only, they will go for the protocol milestone, they will go for the treatment, they'll complete the study, everything you're going to have in the DS domain. In the DS domain, any record you take, that means the subjects was already enrolled. Any record was generated, the subjects was enrolled. So that is the reason. So we'll take it as a consideration. But there is one scenario is there. In the enrollment flag in the DS use subject ID, so enrollment flag will be Y and else enrollment flag will be no. So what is that exactly? So now let's take a look over here. So first of all, what I'm going to do. So here I'm going to sort the data, proc sort. Once I apply this technique, you'll understand. Proc sort. Then I'm going to use data is equals to DS, because already we sorted the data. Then out is equals to DS1. I'm going to use it. Then I'm going to put the bracket. I'm going to use a keep because that doesn't want to disturb any other variables. So I'm going to use a use subject ID, subj ID. You can just use it. Then after that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a semicolon. Then after that, I'm going to use by u subject ID. Then after that, I'm going to use a run. Okay. But now the problem is that if you just run the program, so DS1 will be get created. So in the DS1, see, you can just check it out over here. So there are so many, that means in the DS domain, so 1015 patient. Let's take an example now. So 2 times was generated. Maybe informed consent form obtained, maybe protocol milestone. Maybe informed consent obtained, protocol milestone, and the subject has completed the study. Okay, and the next one you see, maybe informed consent form obtained, and the next one completed the study, or sometimes discontinued from study, whatever it may be. But compulsory, if the records are there continuously, first record will be named as a informed consent obtained compulsory. That means, so already the subjects who are there over here, the first record of the first observation of the first group of the subject, so will be targeted as an informed consent obtained. But here there is a duplicate records are there. So what I'm trying to do now, I'm going to close this. I'm going to use, here I'm going to use what? Anybody? No? Dup keys I'm going to use. So then if I just use a no dup keys and if I just select the program, if I just run the program, so my DS1 dataset will be get created. Now you can just see. So these are the particular subjects who have been enrolled, And one more thing. Now watch carefully. This is, I am speaking about the DS domain. This is, I'm speaking about the DS domain. In the DM domain, we have all the records. In the DM domain, we have all the records. Now, when we backmatch these two datasets, so what happened now? So that whichever the patients are there, so left table will be held as it is. That means the DM table will be held as it is. And this DS domain records will be added to the left table. So now when the same records are matching, then it will be Y. The rest of the records it will be mentioned as no. You understood, right? So that means this records, whichever the records are there in the DM domain, for them it will be enrollment flag will be yes. And the rest of the subjects who are there, it will be recorded as a no, because they are not enrolled because of due to some screen failure, etc. Because compulsory these subjects has to be there in the DM domain. But apart from these subjects, maybe some other subjects also you will find in the DM domain. So that if there is any other records are there, it will be mentioned as no, and the same records will be mentioned as the enrollment flag as Y. Is it clear, everybody?
Yeah, I'm good, Praveen.
Got it right? So now what I'm going to now you'll understand. Look at this. So data, I'm going to use some DS1. I'm going to use some set. Then after that, I'm going to use some DS1. I'm going to use it. And the same data set only I want to override. Then I'm going to use some ENR. I'm going to use some ENR FL. I'm going to use it. Then there I'm going to use some Y flag indication. I'm going to use it Y. Okay. Then after that I'm going to use run. So make sure that there should be somewhat gap for this one. Okay. Done. So now enrollment flag is equal to Y. Now that means what did you understood now? If you open this data set, now you'll understand. So now this all the subjects as enrolled. Once a subject is enrolled, then only those records will get captured all the information in the DS domain. DS domain means subjects who are enrolled. Rest of the students I'm saying, ఎవరైతే DS domain లో ఏ రికార్డ్ ఉన్నా ఇన్ఫార్మ్ కన్సెంట్ ఫామ్ ఆప్టైన్ అయ్యి తర్వాత వచ్చిన రికార్డ్స్ అవన్నీ. సో అంటే ప్రతి ఒక్క సబ్జెక్ట్ కి ఎన్రోల్మెంట్ ఫ్లాగ్ వైఏ ఉంటుంది, గుర్తుంచుకోండి. So this all the records will be considered as a YY because we remove the duplicate records also. So every record will be considered as an enrollment flag because the subject is already enrolled. Now enrollment flag we created. Okay. Now till here is clear? Any doubt in this? Okay. The next one, you can just observe carefully over here. So now observe carefully. Enrollment flag. Enrolled analysis set flag. If DS.unique subject ID not equals to null, then enrollment flag will be Y. So that means in the DS domain, any record will be considered as a Y except the missing ones. So now, and there are more number of duplicate records are there, that records has been get removed. The first record from the first group of the first subject has taken as a Y. Enrollment flag as Y. The rest of the records will not be considered as a no. So now the rest of the records will be considered as a no because we used the no duplicate. So only we got the enrollment flag will be Y. But when we back match to the DM domain, then at the time you will find the no also. That we'll see. In detail we will see. Now, so the next one is that the next variable is that we need to define the SAFFL. So what is SAFFL? What is SAFFL? Now let's take an example now. So there are 10 subjects are there. In the 10 subjects, 8 subjects was enrolled. 8 subjects was enrolled. 2 subjects was got the screen failure. Let us take an example. So now what happened now? Enrollment flag will be for these 8 subjects. It will be Y. Then what is safety analysis flag set? So that means at least this 8 subject. Okay, let's take an example now. 101, 102, 103, and etc. So that means this 8 subject, at least one treatment has to be taken compulsory. At least one treatment. Suppose for example there are 8 patients are there. Only 5 patients has taken the treatment. 3 patients has not taken the treatment. So 5 patient taking the treatments will be considered as a SAFFL is equal to Y. So that means only these 2 subjects has taken. So at the time what happened now? SAFFL will be Y. 1 or 2 subject will be Y, and this one will be no. So what is that exactly? So that means only these 2 subjects has taken the treatment, but this subject was not taking the treatment. So that information you can just find it. So this is the main concept of difference of SAFFL and ENRFL. So ENRFL is nothing but the subjects who have enrolled, the enrolled subject will have the Y flag. And in the enrollment, in the 8 subjects, some subjects may take the treatment, some subjects may not take the treatment. The subjects who have taken the treatment, that means the compulsory they need to take at least one treatment compulsory they need to take. If they are going for the adverse event, at least one adverse event they need to take. So one treatment compulsory they need to take. So for them it will be considered as a SAFFL. So because every enrolled subject may not take all the treatment, compulsory they will not take the treatment. 8 subjects, maybe some 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 subjects may take. Maybe one subject may not take. So except that subject, the remaining records will be considered as a SAFFL. Remember that. So for that, so what I'm going to do, SAFFL I'm going to use for this to create that one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use some proc sort again. I'm going to use proc sort data is equals to SDTM underscore K. So now this time, so what should, so can anybody tell me now which domain I need to supposed to take? So in this SDTM underscore, so in this which domain should I need to take?
Exposure data.
Ante exposure treatment తీసుకున్నాడా లేదా అని తెలిసేది ఓన్లీ ఎక్స్పోజర్ నే తెలుస్తుంది మనకి. So that means whether he has taken the treatment or not, whether the subject has taken the treatment or not, that information you can get it from the exposure itself only. So now you sort the exposure data set completely. So EX domain you take, then after that, then out is equals to, I'm going to use some EX1, I'm going to use put the bracket. Then after that, I'm going to use a keep is equals to SUBJ ID, you're going to use it. Then after that, put the bracket exactly. Then after that, I'm going to use by, I'm going to use the uSubject ID. uSubject ID. Then after that, I'm going to use then I'm going to use run. So I'm going to use a run now. So now here what happens exactly? But remember, so whenever you are sorting the data, here only I'm going to use a where condition. Where, so what EXST it's a common variable where EXST not equals to null, I am going to use it. So what happens over here? So finally, if I select the program, if I run the program, automatically an EX1 dataset will be get created. Absolutely in the work library, EX1 dataset will be there. So if you just observe carefully, again. So there is a 1015, 1015, 1015. So that means, so clearly which is indicating that this many times that the patient has taken the treatment. So 1015 patient has taken 3 times they just participated in the treatment. 1023 has participated 2 times, 1028 has participated 4 times, and 1033 has participated 1 time. But our consideration is that not to target how many times. Our consideration is that whether the subject has taken at least one treatment. So for that reason, again, in order to remove the duplicate records, at the time I'm going to use no dup keys. So I'm going to use the no dup keys completely. Then after that, I'm going to select the program. Then after that, I'm going to run the program. Then go to the EX1 and open the EX1 dataset. Now we'll have all the particular records will be unique. So now finally we've done it. Now for this, then again I'm going to use a very simple, very easy, very like in a systematic mode. What I'm going to use some data EX1. I'm going to use it. Then I'm going to use a set. Same thing. I doesn't want to change the dataset name. I want to override the dataset name. Then here I'm going to use some SAFFL is equals to, I'm going to use a flag indication as Y. Then after that I'm going to use a run now. That's it. So select the program and then run the program now. So right click and just go for the submit selection. Then go to the EX1. That's it. So all the SAFFL has been get created as Y. So that means indirectly you need to understand that, oh, this subject is already taken one treatment. So that means minimum treatment has taken this subject. So that means that information you need to get. But when we back match to the main data set, at the time you will see a different changes exactly. Because which subject has taken the treatment, which subject has not taken the treatment, so that information you can come to know. Because when you back match this data set to another data set, what happens, you know? So that means if the same IDs are there, it will be as Y only. Some other records also will be there. Those subjects are screen failing. So at the time what happens? So there it will be recorded as a no also for that. So that means later on we'll add it there. So this is the overall scenario. So this is another concept to be get applied. Okay, now. So this is clear, everybody. I'm just saving the program. I'm going to mention as an ADSL. Fine, right? Up to here. Okay. So let me give a chance to now this time as a profile. So I want to ask a simple question on this one. So what is the difference between, now here you just observe carefully. So this one is clear. And remember, SAFF will look at this logic carefully. If the subject had at least one non-missing value, EXSTDDC, then SAFFL will be Y. Else SAFFL will be no, here it is not there. But when we back match it, compulsory we need to declare the no also. That we will apply it compulsory. Once the data set has been merged, then after that we can apply the no also. Okay. Now, chalo. Okay. Now, my question is that what is the difference between not dosed and no safety assessments? Can you tell me the difference between these two, Praful? Not dosed and no safety assessments.
Both are the same thing.
No.
The subject has not taken at least one.
Both are not same. Logic is
because they're
different.
not dosed. That means that subject is not going to go to any safety assessment. You know.
Okay. Chalo. For you, what I'm going to take one example to you. I'm going to give one example to you. Now, in that you just I created some data. Data set name is tester. Then in that I'm going to use the input. Then after that I'm going to use some ID. Then after that I'm going to use a dose. Okay. So again, one I'm going to use some dot, and one I'm going to use a dot, and one I'm going to use a dot. Then after that, two I'm going to use a one, and two also I'm going to use a dot, and two also I'm going to use some three, and a three I'm going to use a dot, and three I'm going to use a two, and three I'm going to use the. Okay, that's enough. Okay, we can just use. Okay. Then after that I'm going to use some run. So here I'm going to use my data lines. That's it. Yes. Now can you tell me now just elaborate me, Praful, just tell me. Now I would like to know what is the difference between the not dosed and no safety assessments.
So subject one is not going to go for a safety assessment.
Okay. Suppose, for example, if I go to the SDTM_K, which data set should I need to take? Okay, let's go to the Yes. Mhm. Mhm. Okay, fine. So now, okay. Okay, just give me an idea so that I will explain what is the difference between the not host and the no safety assessment. Just give me an idea, Praful. So what do you have a knowledge? So just tell me so that I'll explain my scenario. You're saying that both are same or both are different?
I would say both are same.
Okay.
So just you explain your logic. Let me know.
Okay. So my logic is that, so what I understand over here, the logic is that if the SAFFL is equal to no, so then do the following: SAFEXE is equal to not dosed. Now watch carefully this logic. You see, if subjects had all the values of EXSTDTC missing and no values of AX dose greater than 0, then SAXEXE no safety assessment. That means, so you can just observe here, if the subject had all the missing values off, if the subject had all the missing values off, if the subject had all the missing values off, so AE.AESTDTC, LB.LB/ES, EG.EG/ES, VS.VS/ES. So now look at this. You can put the underline over here. So my concern, I'm going to teach you the logic. The point is that this subject is right. This subject is there. One subject. This subject, one first subject, not even single, not even single dose he has not taken. Not even single dose. That means one subject he has not taken in the EX domain. He has not taken any kind of dose. He has not taken. And again, if you just go to the, like, suppose, okay, that means any of the, that means one, like the same record, one record, like one patient, if he's having all the data values, so this record will be considered as a not dosed. Okay, the next one. In this, if you see the second patient, 1 is there, dot is there, 3 is there. So that means at least one event has been come across. So that means if all the records is having missing, then we'll consider as a not dosed. In the second patient, 1 and 3 is the dot is there. That means one missing is there. One missing is there. So here what I'm going to mention it as. So not dosed I'm going to mention. So here I'm going to mention it as no safety assessment I'm going to mention. So this is the condition what I need to do. Got it, Praful? No? Okay, let's see this one now. So what I'm going to use a proc scale.
So that's confusing. The same subject is in assessment and not assessment. That confusing.
That's the reason. First of all, just keep it in mind. Not dosed and no safety assessments are quite different. It's not same. Okay. The number one is that not dosed is nothing but, suppose Sujata is there, Sita is there, you are there, 3 people are there. So 3 people are there. Suppose Sita is there, 101 is there. 101 Sita has not taken the dose for the EX domain. That means she has not taken the treatment. If she has not taken the treatment, and if you go to the LB also, the result should not be there. That means lab ORR ES value should not be there. If she go to the VS, the same subject should not have any values. If she go to the ECG, there also she should not get any kind of values because she has not taken the treatment. So now only that records will be mentioned as a not dosed. Okay, let's take another example. Now Sita, 4 visits she have been visited. So that means she has taken 3 treatments. One missing is there. She has not taken the she has not taken the treatment at that moment. But out of 4 visits, 3 visits she has taken the treatment. 1 visit she has not taken the treatment. So there the missing value is there. So now what happened now? So now if that particular case is there, we'll consider as a no safety assessments we are going to mention. So that means this is the main consideration of the not dosed and the no safety assessment. So let's see now, you will understand now. I'm going to write the program. Then your confusion, like your doubt will be get confused. Now ID I'm going to use it. Then I'm going to use a count of. So I'm going to use the ID as I'm going to use some CN1. I'm going to put in the alias column. From absolute it's going to be a test. Then after that immediately I'm going to use some group by. Group by I'm going to use it. Group by I'm going to use some ID. Then after that I'm going to use. And then after that,
Run statement, I guess, Praveen.
if we run, if we use also, if it doesn't use also, that's no problem. P table is an unknown. Let's see the log. Or maybe we did not execute this program. Good tests. Just one. So this is what we call as a count. In the 1 there are 3 counts are there. In the 2 there are 3 counts are there. In the 3 there are 2 counts are there. First we are trying to do, we are applying the counts exactly. Okay. So in the first group there are 3 observations are there. In the second patient there are 3 observations are there. In the third patient there are 2 observations are there. Okay. Now what I'm going to do? Now again I'm going to define another program, proc_SQL. Then again I'm going to use a created table. Then I'm going to, this time I'm going to use some test2 I'm going to apply. I'm going to use the alias as select ID, comma. Then again I'm going to use a count of ID, I'm going to use it. Then as CN2, same thing, from tests. I can use a where condition also, where dose is equals to dot, wherever the dot is there. Dose is equals to dot. I can just use directly group by. I can just use ID, and then I can just use a quick mark. Wherever the dot is there, okay. I'm going to create a test2. So now you tell me, Praful, by looking at this, what did you understood? You tell me. Okay. Again, to make it more clear, I'll write on another program. Data test. I'm going to use a merger. Test1 I'm going to use it. Then I'm going to use a test2 I'm going to use it. Then after that I'm going to use a run. So in the test1, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use some temporary variable is equals to A. Then in the test2, I'm going to in is equals to B I'm going to use. Then after that I'm going to use by ID I'm going to use by ID. Okay. So I can just use a if condition, I can just use it if okay. So in this data set CN1 I can take, CN1 is equivalent to CN2 I can just take, right? So okay. So now I'm going to combine this one. Now you check this test. Now you tell me what did you understand? Praful?
Yeah.
Now tell me, what did you understand now over here? ID CN1 3 is there and the CN2 3 is there. What do you mean by this?
This subject one has 3 observations with 3 missing doses.
So that for this particular records, what should I mention now? Not dosed. Not dosed. So that means every particular single subject it will check. Every single subject it will check, and it will check for if there are any missing values. If every subject is having all the missing values, that means if the subject is unable to take the treatment for all the particular visits, it is giving the dot values, and then the subject will be mentioned as not dosed. Then the remaining subjects will be mentioned as no safety assessment, because every subject maybe somewhere else they are going to have some missing value. Maybe sometimes they may not take the treatment at that particular point of time. So they may take or they may not take. Forget about it. But those particular subjects will be taken as no safety assessment will be mentioned. And for this records will be mentioned as not dosed. If you want, I'm going to write the code for this one. Then you will understand.
Praveen, I just want to make sure whatever I understood is correct or not. So basically what I'm thinking is if the subject has not even taken at least 1 dose, then he is
Correct.
not dosed.
Correct. Perfect.
And if a subject, even if he is dosed at least once or multiple times, but if that particular subject doesn't have LBORRES or VSORRES, then he is considered as the other flag, not considered as safety. Is that what it is?
Still confusing.
No.
101 subject is
Here I am confusing. Here I am confusing. Let's say like a subject.
Very simple problem.
What is my logic? Would you please listen to me one time? Because you can see subject 2 does 3 times. So that one has a 1 dose and another has a subject 3 dose, but one is missing. So first one you are going to get say that's going to go in a safety assessment, and the second one is not going to go in a safety assessment for the same subject. So that's confusing me.
That's what I'm saying. Suppose let's take an example now. This is the EX domain, assume that. Okay, Praful. Okay, suppose for example take an example now. The subject is having some dot values. The same dot values it has to be there in the LB also. The same one patient, the same patient. The same patient 1, again the result should be dot. Again the result should be dot. Again the result should be dot. So because if they is not taking the dose, how the values is going to get it? So that means this value should be dot. Then again if we go to the EG, the same thing again, the same one patient, it has to have the dot. Then again the same patient should have the dot. Then again the same patient should have the dot. Suppose in case if there is any value which wasn't recorded, unfortunately, so then this will not, this entire things will not be recorded as a not dosed, which will comes under no safety assessment will come across. So that is the reason, make sure that every record should have the blank missing value. Then it will be considered as a not dosed. Every record. Now let me write the program, then you will understand this.
Praveen, 1 second.
So every record, sorry.
Yeah.
So every record should not be dosed, at least 1 dose, and every record in the LB and VS should not have the results. Is that what it is?
Very simple line. All the missing values of AE, all the missing values of LB, all the missing values of EG of a particular subject.
But that subject should not be dosed or at least dosed once.
Once, then that record.
As per my knowledge.
Okay, that's exactly what I was. He might be dosed at least once, but when we go to lab and vitals and AE, there should not be any results for any visit.
Any visits, missing value should be there completely.
Yes.
Then
So basically that subject should not have any results in either labs or vitals or adverse events. Then he is considered as not considered as safety.
Not dosed. No,
not dosed.
Not
But
dosed.
suppose, for example, in any of the particular case, if he is having any some like suppose if you go to the BS, in the BS near about some, okay, let me, that's the reason I'm going to execute this program, then you'll understand this logic.
Praveen, 1 second, Praveen. I got the concept of not dosed. You say the results are missing, the original results are missing. I got that concept. Can you please, what do you mean by no safety assessments?
That's what let me execute this code, then you'll understand what do you mean by this. Okay, first let me write this code so that you'll understand. So same concept, I'm just applying the pattern, all missing for your case, all missing values of AESTDTC, I'm going to apply. Okay, now I'm putting the comment over here. Okay, so maybe some other people may be a little bit confused. Nothing else, very easy. Once I written the code, if you see the output, you will understand very easily, because orally I'm speaking, not with the data oriented. If I just write the code, if I execute the code, if you see the output, then you will understand what I'm speaking about. So you can understand very easily. So let me define this one. Percentage macro check, I'm going to use it some because I want to check the missing values and etc. So I'm going to put the macro parameter exactly. So before that, the same program I'm going to apply I'm going to put in the macro, because why I'm putting the macro, because we cannot apply the same the create table for only for one table, right? Because we need to check for LB, we need to check for EG. That's what they explained, right? They need to check for if the subject had all the missing values of AE, STTTC, LB, ORR, ES, EG, ORR, ES, VS, ORR, ES. So then this will be considered no safety assessment. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply the proc. So I'm going to use the proc SQL. Let me write the code. Create table. Table name is ampersand DSN.1. Okay, I can use a TDSN.1 as select u subject ID, comma, count of, so the same thing, ID I'm going to use it. So count of u subject ID only will take, because it's about the main variable. U subject ID,
You need to by instead of BU by.
Here also group by, space between the group by.
Above program I'm just writing. Actually, the above code should not be there, but for a clear understanding, I just explained, because to identify each and every subject is having all the missing values are there or not. The same thing we are finding it over here, because it has to check for each and every domain. So like whichever the domain we want, if I apply the LB, in the LB it has to check each and every record, each and every patient, and it has to identify missing values are there or not. All the missing values are there or not, it has to identify. If there is any missing values are there, it will show that this subject is having all the missing values. For LB, for EG, for VS, for every particular domain, the same thing we can apply. But we need to apply in the macro oriented. So then again, I'm going to use ampersand TDSL. So what I will do, here I am going to use only keep is equals to new subject ID. I'm going to use. Say FFL. So now I'm going to write. So what I will do, part 1 I'm going to consider. Part 1. All the missing values of X STDBC, and I'm going to use percentage check. So percentage check I'm going to use. Then I'm going to put the SDS. You can choose an underscore. Okay. Part 1 it will this way.
So sir.
This is for adverse event.
Yes.
Be some patience. So check how I'm just writing the code. Put the bracket. Okay, we can same thing. We can go with the part two, part one, part two. So we can mention for the ORRES. Same thing. We can just mention and, the same thing. Copy. I'm checking for all because they are expecting all the at a time. Maybe some people may not understand, but slowly you'll understand what I'm trying to do. LB, because LB they specified, AE they specified, EGVS. Okay, EG is not available in our data set, so we'll go with the LB, we'll go with the AE, we'll go with EX, VS, LB or ES, then VS, ORRES. Then we can mention this, the same thing, copy. The same thing. Okay, so for this one, so what I'm going to do in the condition oriented, I'm only back much. Talk about the safety flag, safety flag, safety flag. I prefer. Praful, just can you intimate to them there is a power cut off is there. So we'll continue tomorrow. And for you today there is a class. Today we'll take the class.
TLF, what time?
The same 8:30 in the evening.
8:30 evening. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Eight.
Please inform to the other person. We'll continue. We'll continue tomorrow.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Bye. Okay. Bye. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
We heard
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, you hear the message. Am I right?
Yeah.
So there's going to be class will be tomorrow now. Okay. Thank you. And good night and good morning, everybody.
Yeah. Just send me this video.
Yes, I will after this.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
I need to convert and I'll send it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.